Hi, this is Mama Sandy, and I saw some questions in the group, so I'm going to try to answer them. Okay, forgive me if I go off on a little rant, but yes, most of the time there are certain spirits that are attached to certain veves and sigils, signs, and symbols, and some of those loa or risha or spirits that are activated when you write when these symbols are drawn. Sometimes they want something when they're called upon in that form or fashion. And also, there are always those negative ones that are standing by that don't know, well, they know that you don't know kind of what you're doing. So that's why I encourage people to kind of just work with their guardian angel or their personal power or working with the moon, because people have gotten into trouble. People have lost loved ones, calling upon entities that they really do not know how to deal with or were trained to deal with. So it's important that you be careful. And I understand, I see a lot about, oh, well, this is our birthright and so forth. Yes, it is your birthright. But, you know, someone can have a birthright, but they need to know how to work with the gift that they have. Okay? Someone could be good at fixing cars, or they have the knack for it. But, you know, you have to be able to know how to deal with a certain power, okay? Because there's always a sacrifice and there's always a give and take, all right? And when you're dealing with, the elementals, for those that work with elemental magic, it's good to offer something before they take what they want. So that's why I say be careful with using signs and symbols and sigils, because you have to know how to close doors as well. All right. When a door is open, it must be closed. When we draw veves in the correct fashion, now I'm not going to speak about other people's religions, but the two that I know about, that I practice, that is a part of my life, there are certain words that are said. There are certain things that are done after that veve is drawn or a symbol is drawn. So, please think about what you're doing, because when you're calling on something, being arrogant that you don't know anything about, if you have a child or a loved one or something like that, you might call that energy down and you might think nothing happens, then all of a sudden someone dies, or then you get the job or whatever it is you were seeking, but you don't make the correlation of the two together, because they might happen in different spans of time. Okay, so you have to be careful. All right, it's not that we as spiritual workers or priestesses and priests do not want you to have self-empowerment, but don't get yourself into trouble and then you look and seek us out, and then you get upset when you hear the fees that are said to you to correct the problem. Okay, because when we work with certain entities to take them off of people, believe it or not, even though we have loa and spirits, we're always at risk as well too. But that's something that we know and we're trained to deal with. Okay, as a mambo, as a hugan, there's a reason why we work in twos or threes sometimes, dealing with certain situations. All right, because of that reason. So, dealing with certain things, it shouldn't be be made to be lighthearted. And I notice on groups, people are posting symbols and sigils and all these things like that. And then someone's going to try it. And I know you're like, well, people are adults. But in the same token, I know we're living in a time right now that, people are trying to pay bills. People are trying to get jobs. People are desperate. And that's that spirit of desperation that makes people act on things and do things that they really have no business doing or would think of doing. Okay? So, you have to really look at what you're going to do. Okay? Be careful, because yes, certain symbols and signs have things attached to it. And you don't want to be that person, especially if you have little kids, babies, all right? Or, your girlfriend could be pregnant or whatever the case may be. And then you go ahead and you do something and something bad happens. Okay? So it's not to scare you, it's the truth. Because even the ancient ones, those ancient spirits that people talk about working with, don't be arrogant. You can't control them. You can't just bind them up. They're older than time itself. Time itself. Some of them are older than time itself. And that woman, Lilith, leave her the hell alone. If you don't know how to deal with her, leave her alone. And I said it. If you do not have the proper training and you do not have the proper stuff, leave her alone. Now, you don't have to take my word for it. And I know there's a whole bunch of people that are going to say, well, I'm a priestess of Lilith and da-da-da. Okay, if that's what you are and that's what you do and that's what's working for you, good. But other people may not have what it takes to deal with her. So leave her and those that walk with her alone unless you know what you are doing. Leave her alone. Because I've been seeing her name thrown around a lot lately. Not in just this group, but I've been seeing her name thrown in other places too. And let me tell you something. Okay? Don't think for a minute that these entities are not smart enough to know how to do things or get people to do things or interact with people to do things to get you to do what they want you to do. Don't sleep on that fact. But I just been noticing her name just been circulating around a lot lately. Leave her alone before you get yourself into something that you can't. She's a powerful spirit. Okay? That I know. And I also know some other things about her, but I'm not going to get into that because there's enough stuff flying around about her. So just do yourself that favor, okay? And be careful of certain entities that you have no idea on how they work. For the sake of your family, for the sake of whoever you love and yourself. So yes, certain symbols, signs, and veves have things attached. About 99.5% of them, that's why they were drawn. So be careful. Please be careful. Know what you're doing. Find someone that knows what you never have to give me a thin dime in your lifetime. But seek someone else or someone out that knows what they're doing to help you. Okay? And go on your way. Mama Sandy signing off. I got a couple more videos to make, but this was for the group. And I hope you be safe out there, empowering yourselves and doing what you need to do, because yes, you do have your birthright, but with everything comes training and hard work. So take care of yourselves out there. Bye-bye.